So, over the last few days, there's been this little conspiracy theory flying around the Splatoon community over this little piece of paper that can be seen in the first Splatoon 3 trailer from February 2021. And on this little paper that you can see, you can make out the numbers 3 followed by 15-7. So this theory basically states that the Splatoon 3 release date has been in front of us the whole time since we've learned about Splatoon 3. And while Nintendo hasn't given us an official release date, we already know, around the area of what it's going to be. And this theory states that we already know the exact date. While most people have taken the very responsible approach and said that this probably doesn't mean anything, this theory actually holds an incredibly shocking amount of evidence to back it up. It's actually freaky how, compared to some examples of other games having, random numbers and random places that their fanbase tries to decipher. So, to start this theory out, we need to do some high-level thinking here. This is the number 3. I know, this is a very foreign concept to some people, but despite many alternative opinions, this has been backed up and claimed by several sources that, as a matter of fact, this is indeed the number 3. Okay, so now that we've established what the number 3 looks like, this is the number 3 in Splatoon. Now, after a deep intellectual conversation on what the number 3 looks like in our world, my intellectual viewers should be able to know that in Splatoon, the number 3 is inverted. I point this out because while written in language can be shaky in Splatoon at best to just downright, falling apart at worst, the numbers are usually pretty consistent. So this choice to not only make the number 3, but all of the numbers appear the same way that they do in the Arabic numeric system is, while not the biggest piece of evidence, a very nice way to start out providing evidence for this theory. But to get to the meat and potatoes here, we've got to go over to the calendar to start to think about how Nintendo's business strategy works. Don't click off the video. Dissecting business strategy is fun, I promise. It makes you feel like a little detective. So the first place to question here is, what games does Nintendo have coming out in the summer? And that's because we know that Splatoon 3 is coming out in the summer. The summer months are typically defined as June, July, and August, though some people can definitely consider May and September as summer too. But we're looking at numbers for a company that makes kids games and how they define summer, and their target audience would be in summer break from school right around the months of June, July, and August. Right away, we can totally write off June as the month Splatoon 3 could come out, because Nintendo's already confirmed Mario Strikers, and I literally care so little about Fire Emblem that I'm not even going to look up the name of the game to script it in here, because that's how much I really just do not care about Fire Emblem. Sorry, but Smash kinda destroyed it. So, there's already 2 games coming out in June from Nintendo, plus these games both have multiplayer components. If Nintendo put Splatoon 3 in here too, as another big multiplayer game here, they'd start cannibalizing on game sales. Also, since I know if I don't address it, I'll have people nag me in the comments saying, but Splatoon 1 came out in May, so Splatoon 3 could come out in May too. So May is ruled out because A, if it were coming out in May, Nintendo would have just given us a straight release date in February, when we got the last Direct. Since at that point, Splatoon 3 would have 4 months from dropping. B, it's now March, meaning we'd have 3 months away from release, and they haven't had any test fires yet, nor have they talked about having a test fire. For perspective here, the Splatoon 2 test fire happened 4 months before Splatoon 2 dropped. Now, back to the main point, we've got 2 potential months left, July and August. Now, you may be thinking, well, that's 60-ish days that Splatoon 3 could drop on. Well, actually, it's only 9 days. Yeah. We've got the Splatoon 3 release date narrowed down to just 9 days. This is because Nintendo historically drops their games on Fridays. It's the best day for just really dropping new games. So these 9 days are July 1st, 8th, 22nd, 29th, August 5th, 12th, 19th, and 26th. Now, if you were paying attention, you'd notice that I left 1 day out. Because I had to be extremely dramatic about it and save it for last, but the one date I left out? You guessed it, July 15th, 2022. July 15th is a Friday, meaning that this theory isn't just some crackpot idea with no validity. This whole idea isn't just something that is automatically discredited, it's got some serious evidence behind it. As a matter of fact, July 15th has a 1 in 9 chance of being the release date of Splatoon 3. Now, to give disclosure here, even though there's a lot of supporting evidence, this has not in any way been confirmed by Nintendo and could easily be incorrect. I mean, there's an 8 out of 9 chance that it isn't correct. The reason I felt the need to make this video is because the whole July 15th idea really does have a lot of supporting evidence, but then again, that doesn't guarantee anything. It's just a really fun rabbit hole to go down. But anyways, that is it for me. What do you guys think about this little theory? It's certainly stronger than some random release date ideas, and hey, you know what? Even if this idea does end up being totally wrong, it's still got a million times more percent than any Samus Hunter release date she has ever said. Alright gamers, that is it for me. See ya.